For more on today's victory, we're joined by TSN's Bob McKenzie. Bob, a pretty easy match for Team Canada today. Your take?
Yeah, it was. No doubt about that. Although it was very concerning early on when Nolan Foote took a 5-minute major penalty 53 seconds in, and Canada had to kill off that 5-minute major. They did a good job of that. Joel Hofer, the goaltender for Team Canada, made a couple of good saves and an otherwise lackluster power play from Slovakia. And then after that, Canada took over the game 5-on-5, and that was probably the most gratifying thing about it. 4 of the 6 goals that Team Canada scored in this game were at even strength. It wasn't just a situation where they took an inferior opponent, which Slovakia was, and beat up on them on the power play. They had a pretty good game plan. They executed it well, and they were full value for the victory.
Okay, Bob, so I'm curious what you think the biggest challenge is now for Team Canada going forward.
Well, obviously, they're waiting to see who they're going to play. It'll probably be the winner of the Finland-USA game that's currently going on right now. When you get to this tournament, you get to the semifinals, 1-game elimination. There's just no way of knowing. You come with your A game, you come with your, C or D game. We saw an example of that in the first 2 games of the tournament. Canada played very well to beat the Americans on day 1, rallied from a 2-0 deficit in the first period and won handily. The next game against the Russians was a total abomination. It was the most lopsided World Junior game for Team Canada in losing to the Russians that game. So you never know what you're going to get, but I think Team Canada likes where they're at right now. Their number 1 goaltender is set. They're healthy. Alexis Lafreniere, who was injured in that game against Russia, came back into the lineup today, was a major factor. He was throwing some big hits. He had a goal. He had an assist. In 127 minutes of play, he's got 2 goals and 6 points. So pretty much everything you want to be in place for a semifinal game is in place for Team Canada.
Lots of great teams out there, a lot of great players, a lot of great hockey. What's jumping out for you so far? I know it's early, but some of the highlights.
I think how competitive the entire tournament has been. There have not been a lot of blowouts, and it's been very closely contested games. And the division that Canada was in, the Americans, the Russians, the Czechs, the hometown Czechs, as well as a German team that was much more skilled than we've ever seen in the past, and will have 2 or maybe 3 first-round picks in the NHL draft this year. So that was a really difficult side to be in. We haven't seen as much of the Swedes and the Finns, but they're obviously 2 real credible teams too. So I think it's just how close it is this year, and the skill level of these kids just continually amazes you.
We love having you on, Bob. Thanks for this.
Thanks a lot.
TSN Hockey Insider Bob McKenzie.